Hi everyone, and welcome back to this channel of crafting, crochet and knitting. My name is Nikki. How are you guys doing this very cold, chilly January? So today's video is going to be another tutorial to hopefully help combat that cold. We all like to have our nice hot drinks during weather like this, whether it's tea or coffee or hot chocolate. I'm personally a hot chocolate fan. So I thought I would show you how to keep those hot drinks hotter for longer with a mug cover. So here we go. It just buttons up around the handle there. Now, I've shown this pattern before on the channel. I don't know how well you can see this, but this is the crochet equivalent of a rib stitch. So if you're a knitter, you could probably do this just by using, just by casting on a certain number of stitches and then doing a rib stitch. But I'm going to show you guys how to do the crochet version today. So yeah, and the other thing is these bits, I'm not going to show you how to do these bits because these are just my own personalization. I am an astronomer, so I've gone for a moon and some little stars. But you can do whatever you want. You can use whatever color you want. Also, yes, the navy does not show up very well on camera, so I'm going to try, hopefully, and use a colour that shows up a bit better. So I'm going to pause the video, try and set this up at my desk, and come back to you guys when we're ready to show you how to do the tutorial. Okay, so we are set up at the desk. You can see this much better in the lighting that we have in the study. So you can see this really nice 3D texture that we have going on. That is the 3D rib. So I'm still going to show you in a slightly different colour. To do this, I'm going to use a 5mm crochet hook. So let's get started. So first we're going to need to make a chain row. So when I was using this yarn, which is slightly thinner, I did a chain row of 14, but this is a bit thicker, and so I'm going to do 13. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so that should be about the right length. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to work in the loops at the top only. So some people prefer to do this when they're starting any chain foundation work in crochet because it's a bit looser. But you can see the structure here of the stitches. You have these little V shapes. The top ones are the back loops and these bottom ones are the front loops. In subsequent rows, we're always going to work into the back loops. So we're going to go into the second one from the hook. I'm going to pull up and just do a double crochet in UK terms and a single crochet in US terms. So we've done that in that stitch. I'm going to keep going. And because we missed one, we should find that we have 12 double crochets. As I'm doing this, I'm probably going to be cutting bits out where I'm just doing the double crochets down the middle. Just to make sure that the video doesn't get too long, because it is just the same stitch all the way down. Okay, now don't lose that last stitch, make sure that you get that last stitch too, and then we'll do a count. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay, so next, we need to work into this stitch, but if we work straight into it, we're just going to undo our current loop on hook. So we're going to need to chain one and turn our work. Okay, so we're now going to work into our first stitch here, and we're working in that back loop. Okay, so if you were going to do a flat piece of work, you would work into both these bits. You can see that. But because we want to get that rib stitch, we're going to go into the back only. Okay, so 1. I'm going to work that all the way to the end, again just doing double crochets. Okay, now make sure that you don't lose those last stitches. So that is the 11th and that is the 12th. So always be careful you don't lose that last stitch. We can always double check. So we've got 2 stitches there, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Each row should just be 12. So we're going to do another chain, I'm going to turn again, and go back the other way, again just going into the back loops of each stitch, doing a double crochet. Okay, and once again, as we get to the end, make sure you don't lose that last stitch there. Okay, so now you can start to see it beginning to form a bit. We have these little dips and rises. This one's going to be a dip. If we turn it over, it's starting with a rise, getting a dip in the middle there, and we're doing a rise here. So if we do another row, you can see that a bit more clearer. So we've got our chain, back stitch only, double crochets all the way along. Okay, and once again, don't lose that last stitch there. It sometimes is harder to spot because of where you've turned. So now you can see there's 2 ridges and 2 dips. 2 dips and 2 ridges, and that pattern is just going to continue all the way around, giving you that nice 3D texture. And this makes for a really good mug cover because that just makes a really thick texture, which is going to insulate your mug really well, nice and springy. So it's going to go around your mug. You're probably going to need about 40 rows, but you can just check it by holding it up to the mug all the time. So there's about 40 rows in this one. But also this particular pattern is just simple for things like cuffs. So you would do this around the bottom of a jumper or around the cuff of a sleeve. I think I have one of my crochet sleeves to hand actually, hang on. Here we go, where I've done this exact same thing, where I've done these back loops only all the way around. And what that does is it is going to close around my wrist in a sleeve, or around my stomach in the bottom of a jumper, and it's going to keep me nice and warm and keep the air out. So it's a really good texture for things like that too. In this case, obviously, it's going to make a nice little air cushion, a nice little thick insulating area around the mug, and going to keep that heat in your mug. So you, like I say, you would just keep doing this until you get to the end. Hey, so I hope you enjoyed that very small tutorial on how to do the crochet equivalent of a rib stitch and how that you can make it into a mug cover. So I didn't actually explain how to make it into a mug cover itself, but it's really very simple. You would just keep working that stitch until the length goes around your mug. So it'll be about 40 rows. When you get to that point, you're gonna need to make the loop that is gonna go around a button and hold your mug cover in place. So all you're gonna do for this is you're gonna chain some stitches. In fact, if I just take this off, how many have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you're gonna chain about 10 stitches at the end, and you're going to join it back into the base just with a slip stitch, and then you're going to fasten off, and that's all you have to do. Then you're going to need to be able to join it at the bottom here. There we go. All you do there is just sew that up. There's nothing special about it. You can do a slip stitch join if you want to. You're just going to join about 2 stitches together. But you can, at this point, you can put it around a mug that you're intending to use it on, and work out how much you need to do. So like I say, it's about 2 stitches on this one. And then sew a button at the top so that you can use your chains to go around the button and hold it in place. So the reason it might feel like the loop's quite big, but that loop has got to go across the top of your handle and then around your button. So 10 chains is just about right. And that is your mug cover. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I will see you soon with another video.